At the beginning of the story, we see a very dark forest where a child is running away, either scared of something or trying to escape from someone. The scene then shifts to a red bus traveling on a road through this same forest toward its destination. After some distance, the bus's path gets blocked by a fallen tree, so it takes an alternate route without knowing the dangers that might lie ahead. Along this path, we even see some skeletons. As they move forward, all the trees have been cut down. Suddenly, fog surrounds the bus, making the children inside afraid as they look outside. The driver is forced to stop the bus. When the driver gets down, he sees a dead deer in front of the bus and moves it aside. As he turns around, he's startled to see someone has boarded the bus, a man holding him at gunpoint. This man threatens all the children and orders them to sit quietly in their seats. One of the children remembers seeing this man on the news. He was a serial killer who had recently escaped from jail. What's more terrifying was that this killer only targeted teenagers. He was a psychopath. Following his orders, everyone throws their phones out the window and the driver continues driving the bus. The driver misses a sign indicating that they're heading toward an abandoned military zone, an area where research was conducted years ago but is now completely deserted. The bus passes through a tunnel with lights but suddenly stops when the engine breaks down. The psychopath thinks the driver is trying to trick him, so he holds a girl at gunpoint and orders the driver to fix the bus. During this time, the tunnel lights go out, frightening everyone. In the dark tunnel, they begin hearing terrifying noises. The killer signals the driver to go check what's making the sounds. With his flashlight, the driver moves toward the darkness. As he proceeds, he sees a shadow. Upon closer inspection, he realizes it's a horrifying monster. The driver screams in terror, and the monster grabs and kills him. Everyone inside the bus witnesses this, and the killer quickly returns inside with the girl. All the children start screaming, but the killer tells them to be quiet so the monster won't see or hear them. He tries to start the bus, but the key is with the dead driver. He sends one of the girls to get the key. Frightened, she approaches the driver and is shocked to see him dead. Fighting back tears, she takes the key and returns to the bus. When the other children ask her about the driver, she shakes her head, indicating he's dead. Everyone becomes sad and worried. The killer orders a boy named Reggie to start the bus, but it's broken. He threatens to kill everyone if Reggie doesn't get it working. Reggie argues with the killer, and another child pushes the killer from behind. When he falls, Reggie grabs his gun and points it at him. But the killer just laughs, saying, "You can't kill me. It takes courage to kill, which you don't have." Before Reggie can do anything, they hear noises from outside the bus, distracting everyone, and the killer reclaims his gun. The noises from the top of the bus increase, frightening all the children. Angry, the killer gets out and starts shouting, "Whoever you are, come out of the darkness and face me." Suddenly, he stops speaking. A strange smile appears on his face and something attacks him. The attacker separates his head from his body. The children are shocked to see a terrifying creature with one hand holding the man's head. It has many tentacles pierced into the severed head. Not knowing what to do, they decide to stay inside the bus for safety until they hear strange noises outside. The bus door opens with a crackling sound, and they see the monster's large hands on the bus seats. As the monster enters, they all try to escape through the other door, but it won't open. One of them accidentally points a flashlight at the monster and notices it's afraid of light. Using this to their advantage, they keep the monster at bay with the light until they manage to open the door and escape. They run forward and reach a bunker. Inside, they find a room with a map of the entire place, revealing it's a military base. They realize if it's a military base, there might be lights and a control panel. They make a plan. If they want to survive, they need to turn on the lights in this military base. After studying the map, they devise a plan and think about where the control panel might be. Nolan and his companions go to find the power point while the others wait. One of the girls, Queenie, needs to use the bathroom, so Reggie accompanies her. As they're walking, Reggie keeps annoying Queenie with his chatter, so she stops responding. After some time, when Reggie turns around, he realizes Queenie is gone. Panicking, he starts shouting and searching for her, alerting his other friends that Queenie is missing. They search in another area and finally spot Queenie, but a monster is on top of her, about to eat her. Queenie is terrified at the sight of the monster. Reggie distracts the monster with fire while his friend manages to pull Queenie away. Queenie and her friend quickly run away from the monster, not realizing that Reggie is still behind. Reggie drops the torch, which falls into water and gets extinguished. The monster is about to attack him when suddenly lights come on, causing the monster to flee in fear. Nolan and his companion, who turned on the lights, find a room nearby with a dead body and many pictures and notes. These notes were all about the creature. It seemed someone had researched this creature extensively but couldn't kill it. Their main concern now is to escape as quickly as possible. As they move forward, they see a strange shadow in the distance. Afraid, they hold their breath, thinking it might be the monster. But they soon realize it's their three friends, which brings them relief. Their joy is short lived when they notice a mark on Queenie's neck, a bad wound with blood coming out. Everyone realizes that Queenie is now infected by the monster. Some suggest they should leave her behind, but they decide to keep her with them. To learn more about what might happen to Queenie, they return to the room with the notes about the monster. They pick up a notebook and start reading. It was a story of a boy who loved exploring new things with his sister. One day they came to this military base. While the boy was studying the map carefully, his sister moved ahead and was suddenly shocked by something she saw inside. By the time her brother looked in her direction, it was too late. Screams and shouts were coming from inside the tunnel. Scared, instead of saving his sister, he ran toward the forest to save himself. This was the same scene we saw at the beginning of the movie. The boy escaped, but the incident stayed in his mind. He felt guilty that his sister died because of his negligence, and he wanted revenge against the creature that killed her. Years passed, but he couldn't do anything. He researched the monster, learned everything about it, and planned how to kill it. He even built a machine to kill the monster, but before he could succeed, the monster discovered his presence and killed him. From his notes, the group learns that the monster kills anyone it attacks or whose blood it tastes. Now Queenie was in grave danger. They decide they will fight to save her and complete what that man started. They will complete the machine and kill the monster. Queenie says, "No one should put themselves in danger because of me." But her friends are good people and say, "We will all escape from here alive." With this thought, they all hug each other and start working on their plan together. Soon, they get hold of the machine the man had built, which was now fully functional. They were happy to see this, but they still had work to do. They needed to bring the monster in front of this machine. For this, they set a trap. They place Queenie's blood soaked clothes in an empty space so that the creature would come there following the scent. A short distance away, they positioned Queenie as bait so the monster would come to the exact spot and they could kill it with light. According to their plan, the monster appeared. It smelled and picked up Queenie's clothes, but realized this wasn't Queenie. Just at that moment, Nolan was supposed to pull the trigger, but unfortunately, it got stuck. Meanwhile, the monster found Queenie and came after her. Before the monster could attack Queenie, they managed to turn on the machine, shining bright lights on the monster. The monster released Queenie, and she and another friend quickly escaped through the tunnel. One of their friends tried to stab the monster in the stomach, but it didn't affect the creature. Now all they could do was escape to save their lives. With torches in their hands, they all ran toward the exit. The two girls had already made it outside the tunnel. After getting out, they felt relieved, but then looked back, concerned about their friends who hadn't emerged yet. The monster was now in front of them, and they trembled with fear. However, the monster didn't come outside because of the daylight. Just then, their three friends came from behind the monster, set it on fire, and ran out of the tunnel. The monster burned in the fire, and finally their plan worked. They had killed the monster and saved everyone's lives. They had not only eliminated the danger to themselves but also to anyone who might come there in the future. At the end of the movie, the children remember their driver who had asked them a riddle. What is the thing that helps us get out of every trouble? At that time, they couldn't answer the riddle, but now they completely understood that the thing is courage, which helps a person overcome even the biggest difficulties. The dying driver had taught them a great lesson, and here the story ends.